Good evening and welcome to Power Promises. I'm David Morehouse, Honorary Chair of this Night of Hope and CEO and President of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm honored to be part of this year's annual fundraising gala. I don't think I know a person that has not been affected in one way or another by addiction. And I think what Power does is so good for the community that I devoted my time. I'm gonna write a check, and I've got the Penguins involved in this. I also have some personal connection to what Power's doing. I worked in the Clinton administration for the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and I saw firsthand all around the country, in fact, all around the world, the damage that addiction does to communities. Power's planned another superb virtual presentation for you about the power of recovery. It's Power's 30th anniversary this year, and tonight you'll hear from its founders, see what's on the horizon, and you'll be moved by stories of two of Power's alums who's reclaimed their lives from tragedy and addiction, and you'll have an inside look at what addiction treatment has been like during the pandemic, which has been even more intense, and you'll be reminded of what recovery looks like. If you're able, I hope you'll join me and give a gift of support for recovery. Last year, over $21,000 was raised during the show, and I'd love for us this year to exceed that amount. You can fund a woman's journey, send a tribute gift to our Seeds of Hope awardees, Mark Cherna and Brenda Waters, and you can bid on auction items, including some things that the Penguins have donated. We have a signed Sidney Crosby jersey. We have a signed Evgeny Malkin mini Penguins helmet, and we have a signed puck from Chris Letang, along with other Penguins gear and paraphernalia. It's my pleasure to introduce Power CEO, Rosa Davis.
Thank you, David. Welcome to Power Promises. I'm Rosa Davis, CEO of Power, and I'm so excited that you tuned in tonight. This is our 30th anniversary, so it's a really special event and a special year. This evening, you're going to get an inside look at Power. You're going to get to meet some of the staff. You're going to hear from two amazing alums, and you're going to get a tour of this facility, Power Restore, our newest program. I'm so excited you're here. I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to check out our auction items, and if you feel so moved, make a donation to Power by visiting our website. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Giselle Barreto Fetterman, and I am your second lady. But also I am a board member at Power. Addiction is a terrible disease and affects entire families as well as entire generations. But recovery is possible, and Power is doing that work every single day. I hope that you'll consider supporting them. You can make a donation at power-recovery.com. Thank you.
In 1992, we opened our doors to the first clients when we opened our Powerhouse program, the first of its kind in Allegheny County. And now here we are 30 years later, ready to open another first in Allegheny County. In July, we're launching a new program called Power Restore. It's a detox and rehab exclusively for women. Why is that important? The needs of women are different than those of men. They're not more important or less important, but they're different. For example, 90% of women who enter substance use treatment centers report histories of trauma, and most often that's histories of early childhood abuse, sexual assault, rape, or partner violence. You can imagine being in a co-ed facility and trying to address those kinds of issues. Power Restore is Allegheny County's only detox and rehab for women. It is a state-of-the-art integrated withdrawal management and treatment program for women with substance use and co-occurring disorders. The facility is located in the East End Behavioral Health Hospital in Wilkinsburg, near the corner of Penn and Braddock Avenues. It's a lovely facility, and the unit is comfortable and inviting and reflects the lives of women like all of Power's programs do. And every woman will have her own bedroom and private bath. The facility has some community spaces where women can gather and relax and learn ways to de-stress that are safe and healthy. They'll have group therapy, individual therapy. The staff, which is going to be a mix of nurses and clinicians with oversight from a physician, are going to be able to care for the women who come into this program in the way that they deserve to be cared for, in a way that is going to help them sustain their recovery over time. Power Restore is a 21-bed facility. 7 beds are dedicated to detox and 14 to rehab. So the difference between detox and rehab, detox is actually an intervention that helps people who are struggling with an opioid addiction or alcohol addiction to safely withdraw. And rehab is the actual treatment. This is where you begin to address the issues that are influencing, impacting, or contributing to addiction. Often people go to detox because they've reached their real bottom. They are in crisis. They have perhaps overdosed but survived, and they know they need help. So they go into detox to have their withdrawal symptoms managed safely. But unfortunately, way too often, they don't follow up with treatment. So what's unique about the program we're offering women in Allegheny County is that we're going to be integrating our rehab treatment services with our withdrawal management services. And that means that when a woman enters detox, she's going to have the opportunity to immediately begin her treatment. So there's not a scenario of a woman just laying in bed, not feeling well, waiting to feel better, and then walking out the door without a plan for her next steps. In this scenario, she will be able to get the medical care she needs, get the comfort medications that she needs to safely withdraw. She'll meet her therapist right away. She'll begin group and individual therapy, and it'll be a seamless transition into treatment. That is so critical for anyone who is beginning their recovery process. And for women to be able to do that in an all-woman environment where the services reflect their lives is especially important. With the addition of Power Restore, we now can offer women a full continuum of care. That means that a woman in our region now has the opportunity to choose an all-woman environment that is trauma-informed and pays attention to the special issues that impact her the most. Whether she needs detox, rehab, halfway house services, inpatient, outpatient, counseling, or mentoring, we now can offer a woman all of those services in a seamless, coordinated way. And that's critical because too often it is extremely difficult to manage a number of different services. And too often people who struggle with addiction don't always follow through with the next level of care. With Power's ability to treat women no matter what stage of recovery they're in, our hope is that they're going to be more likely to take advantage of every level of care that we offer and begin their journey with us and continue it as they return to the community, return to their families, are reunited with their children, and we'll be there to support them throughout the whole process.
My name is Kim. I have been in recovery for a little over 3 years now. I started using substances when I was pretty young, as a teenager. It progressed pretty quickly when I was in high school, and I was fully addicted to drugs by the time I was 17 years old. I spent a lot of time around other people who were older than me and enjoyed to party just as much as I did. And that is what we did. You know, it started on the weekends and then it just kind of progressed to an everyday crippling addiction at a very young age. I had this idea that, you know, this is just what drug addicts did. We inconvenienced our employers and our family, and people were just supposed to tolerate our behaviors because we were drug addicts. And I also didn't think that I was worthy of any kind of recovery. I didn't think that I could ever obtain any substantial amount of clean time. And I also didn't think that I deserved it either. I also think it's important to mention that, you know, a lot of the people that I was using with, they passed away. I had a very scary overdose myself, and I remember thinking that I was dead. The fear of that, and my daughter being the one to find me in the morning, was really when I decided to get honest with myself and with other people about how severe things had gotten for me. The staff was very welcoming. Um, I remember seeing a sunflower on the wall, and the sunflower had significant meaning for me. And I just kind of felt like I was in the right place. I think one of the most important things for me at the powerhouse was that I could still maintain that relationship with my daughter. She came to visit me on the weekends, and the staff and all the other women at the house were very welcoming of her. I believe some of them left a lasting impression because she still mentions some of the staff at the powerhouse from time to time. When I was at the powerhouse, I lost my dog of 13 and a half years. I had to make the tough decision to put him down while I was living there. And I think it was the hardest thing that I had ever been through. And I was facing that clean for the first time. And I feel as if I wasn't living at the powerhouse, I'm not sure how that would have played out for me. I had a loving, supporting network of women in the powerhouse who helped me through what was one of the toughest things that I had ever been through. While I was at the powerhouse, I did some family sessions with my brother and my daughter. And like I had mentioned before, the treatment is individualized, and these were some areas that were really important that I focus on, building and fixing relationships with my family. I think it's safe to say today that, they are proud of me. And for a long period of time, I wasn't able to ever feel that way. I felt more of like an inconvenience. And, today, through recovery and, working on relationships, I'm very happy that they are proud of me today.
So I'm Amy, and I've been in recovery 17 years, and I am Kim's sponsor. Kim has changed drastically. When I first met Kim, I mean, she was so sweet, so soft spoken, and Kim's still so sweet and soft spoken. But I have seen her work so hard. She will put goals ahead of herself, and meet those goals. She got a job while she was there, which led to her finding her passion. Animals definitely, were always dogs, her passion, any animal, any creature. But she got her job where she works now and has worked up in her job and went to school to be a dog trainer. I see her reach out and help other women, which is just like the absolute best. She's actually like a pillar in our community of recovery for sure.
I was at the powerhouse for 6 months. I knew I was ready to leave the powerhouse when I felt confident enough going out and doing day-to-day things without feeling overwhelmed. We have our own apartment now, which is something I never thought we would be able to achieve. We live in a nice school district, and we have our pets here, which is something that we were very much looking forward to when we got our own place. This is Penny. Good girl. So I recently adopted Penny from a family who couldn't take care for her anymore. And it's been quite the journey. But this is like what I do for work. I work with dogs, and it's been an experience, but she's doing pretty good.
I am so proud of you, and I'm so glad that you get to have this honor tonight. And in that honor, you continually help other women, which has been really a beautiful thing to watch. It's an honor to be your sponsor. I couldn't be more proud.
Hi, my name is Darby Testa, and I am the program manager at Powerhouse. I think a lot of people assume that when their loved one or someone comes to Powerhouse, that they're here to get clean and sober. That is a tiny, tiny portion of the work that residents do while they're here. At the house, we have a resource coordinator whose full-time job is to help our residents get their needs that are not specific to recovery met. So on day one, Darlene meets with a resident as they walk in the door to talk with them about, like, when you discharge or if you leave early, where are you going to live? Do you have a job? Would you like to get a job? Have you seen a primary care provider? Has it been a while since you've had a physical? So she'll go through kind of a list of what needs do you have. Part of our programming is that by the time someone completes or discharges, they have been working, going to school, or volunteering. So for our residents who do not need employment or have a fixed income, or can't work for whatever reason, we do work with them on finding volunteer opportunities. And the importance there is that we're still engaging them in the community. We don't want the pattern of isolation that happens in substance use to continue. Our resource coordinator also works with them on all of the wraparound services that come with any solution, right? So let's say we get a resident to the point where they are able to get a job and maintain a job. Do they have clothes to wear? Do they have non-slip shoes to wear in the kitchen? As far as the toughest need to fill for residents coming into a halfway house is housing when they leave here. So there's a few reasons for that. One is we're trying to predict the future of when they're going to need housing and what position they're going to be in when they need it. But also the wait lists for things are long. So if I have a resident walk in my door and in 6 months they're going to need a place to put their head, we need to start today with getting those applications in. Not only is housing in general a very difficult resource to access, but making sure we have housing available and connect people that is safe for them in their sobriety. So our resource coordinator also has relationships with providers in the area. We can say this is a sober living house that we went to. We've had graduates go to successfully, and we know the owner. Much more important than just giving somebody a list of housing options and asking them to apply. Recovery from addiction is one piece in the big puzzle. So it's a complicated dance that our residents and staff have to do, because if you don't have these foundational resources, staying clean and sober is next to impossible. If you're not clean and sober, keeping these resources is really, really tricky for most people, especially the people who are seeking this kind of care. So our goal is to do everything in that person's world to help it support that long-term recovery. And almost always that is employment, education, housing, healthcare.
Hello, my name is Jim Britt, and I'm the Executive Director of the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation. We are thrilled to join our team president and CEO, David Morehouse, in supporting Power and the tremendous work they're doing to assist women in our region. We would like to thank you all for joining us tonight and hope you enjoy the event.
Tom, Terry, Sister Joyce, I'm so excited to see all three of you at the same time. And, I don't know that everyone knows the role that the three of you played in establishing Power, right? So, Tom, you often tell me about how this young woman came to you after coming out of rehab and saying that there was no place for someone like her to go to continue her treatment after a short rehab stay. And at the same time, Terry, who had an interest in women's issues and women's drug and alcohol treatment, connects with you, and everything just kind of starts to happen. And of course, Sister Joyce, you were instrumental in Power locating its very first program in the former convents. I get so excited when I think about those days. And although I've been at Power a long time, I wasn't there in the very beginning. So I'm curious, Tom, if you could start by telling us what was the most memorable, I think, thing about mobilizing the community and getting them to agree to this kind of program in the Swissville.
Well, as you mentioned, a woman named Amy came to me and actually introduced me to Terry and a group of people that were meeting about trying to create a facility. And so for me, the biggest memory was to go to the Swissville City Council meeting where we needed to get a zoning a variance. And 300 people showed up and everybody supported it.
So who came to Sister Joyce and Father Cheatham? Terry, was that you?
Yeah, so one thing led to the next, and the doors started opening, and we learned about the convent. We went over there and we said, as soon as we walked in, it was like, this is it. This is where power is going to be.
So Sister Joyce, Terry comes to you and tells you about her vision. What happened next?
I remember one woman standing up. She was a teacher in the school. She also had children in the school. And she said, helping people, serving others. This is what we teach our children. This is the way we do it. And it was successful. And I can't believe 30 years ago. I think that's the marvel. That's the miracle story.
Absolutely. And, you know, when I think about some of the women I met early on when I first came to Power in 92, those women are still living in recovery. And so over the 30 years, a lot has happened. You know, at the core, Power hasn't changed. The values, the philosophy at our core hasn't changed, but we've been able to expand so that women have this full array of services. So what do you think when you hear about a campus down the road and Power Restore opening up in a few months?
It is mind-boggling to see what you have done with Power. So, and when we talk about Power Restore right now, we talk about expanding the campus, we talk about all of the programs, outpatient, inpatient, aftercare, creative arts, yoga, meditation. I mean, come on. And now we've got a whole suite of programs that, in my mind, is a perfect illustration of a holistic program. You know, it's soup to nuts, right? So everything that a woman would need to treat all of the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of her life and to heal in all of those areas, Power now, in a very holistic way, provides wraparound services for that. That is, I mean, you know, who doesn't want to be a part of that story?
Wouldn't we love to say there's no more addiction? That's not going to happen with human condition being what it is. But it's wonderful to know that there's going to be a power to respond to it.
And Terry, at the time when we started this, there was no organization like it in Pennsylvania. Is that the case?
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
If you started with how are we going to pay for this, it would have never happened.
Never happened, right?
What we started with was what needs to happen? What's the vision? And we continue to operate like that. And we're looking to expand and to buy the old school, but it's going to take money. So the vision is there, and we believe that we can finance this, and for that we need your help. We need your help not only tonight with our fundraiser, but we need your help continuing as we build this 3-story building and converted from what was a school that taught kids for many, many years, and now a continuum of care for women.
Hi, I'm Mayor Deneen Swartzwelder. Congratulations, Power, on your 30-year anniversary. And thank you for the positive impact you've had on so many women's lives. And also thanks for the contributions you've made to our town, Swissvale. Keep up the wonderful work, and here's to a bright and powerful future.
I'm Amber Coppings, the resident artist at the Powerhouse. We haven't let something like a pandemic slow down our creativity. We still meet 2 mornings a week to create art together via Zoom. Often the camera is face down towards my workspace so that the women can see me working in real time. I also create supplemental PDFs so that the women can have some worksheets to refer to if needed. A creative process that we've explored in many different ways during the last year is bookmaking, as well as creating zines or mini books. In the first 15 minutes of every art session, we create a mini artwork on an index card. It could be a meditative drawing, a creative list, or even a painting. And then at the end of that 15 minutes, we put them all together into a progress scene so that over time and over the weeks that they participate in the art program, they can see how many skills they've gained, as well as improved their confidence through the arts. Thankfully, we've been able to work with visiting poet Sarah Levins throughout the pandemic in order for the women to have a creative writing element in all of their zines. This video shows one of the original formats we used to create a mini book. This woman created a large watercolor painting on a piece of paper, cut and folded the paper in certain ways to make a one-page book, and when unfolded, you can see the entire painting and a portion of the poem that she wrote. As a way to give back to our community and destigmatize people in recovery, the women have created several zines that are available digitally as well as in print to share and read. Our Summer 2020 zine featured self-portraits made using blotted line monoprints inspired by Andy Warhol, as well as creative writing. Our Winter 2020 zines featured abstract collage self-portraits, as well as a poem that was written with Sarah Levins as our visiting poet. The woman who created this collage and poem arrived on a day where the art and poetry sessions were happening. She was so excited that she got her own private room that she wrote a poem about the moment that she opened the door and realized that she had her own private space once again. Every woman in recovery is valued. With this in mind, we're learning contemporary gilding techniques that will allow us to adhere culturally valued materials such as precious metal leaf to personal power symbols on the cover of our current zines. I'll leave you with some of the words from one of the Power Art participants. She says, "The art program engages my creativity. It relaxes me so I can focus, helps my ADHD in big ways. I feel like I belong to a very special club. This is so important to me because my addiction kept me alone and isolated. The art program also teaches me new and different projects, which makes me sure I can achieve improvement in trying new things." Thanks so much to Pittsburgh Center for Arts and Media, Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, and Shadyside Presbyterian Church for their support of the Artist Residency program. And of course, huge thanks to all of the Powerhouse staff and administration for all of their behind-the-scenes work.
Hello, my name is Nissa'a. I'm the chef at the Powerhouse, and I also teach culinary class. Not only do we teach, things like first in, first out, which is to use the old stuff and to put the new stuff in the back, but we also teach importance of washing the dishes, importance of cleanliness in the kitchen, importance of knife cuts. We teach sauces, base sauces, so they can be independent and go out to the world and have new life skills. That's very important. And recovery is to be independent and be able to provide not only for themselves, but for their families as well. One thing I love to cook and that women love to eat is my kale salad. My kale salad is one of the things that can be alternated with different ingredients. The main base is kale. I teach a great vinaigrette that I teach also in my culinary class. It's bright, it's fresh. You can eat it during fall, the winter, the spring, the summer. One of the things that I love is that we get donations, and with our donations is that I can add those things to the salad, whether it be a fresh vegetable, whether it be some nuts or berries, but it's always something that I can just throw together and they love it. One of our clients decided that after culinary class, she went to culinary school. She enrolled in culinary school and took night classes while still enrolled at Power. Before she left Power, she was offered a job in the culinary field. I'm just so proud of her because she seen me as her mentor, and we all miss her here because she was one of the main cooks that cooked on the weekend and they loved her food.
Hi, I'm Patty Littlejohn, and I am a retired postal worker that now is a mosaic artist, and I'm in recovery. I had volunteered to do a mosaic, and then we decided to do a mural in the Great Hall of the Powerhouse. I'd give them a circle, a mesh circle with a background, and they could draw their picture, whatever they wanted, some sort of reflection of recovery. They could draw that, and then it got the glass, and they could fill it in with glass. And we did the mosaics by Zoom. I showed them how to do it. They would work on their projects, and I have it on my Zoom and working on my projects that I did, because I created a big centerpiece of it that was the symbol of power, the sunflower, and I put it all together, and we wanted to tie it all in with mirror because it was called Reflections of Recovery. It turned out like everybody had something different. Some of them were just like butterflies and clouds and just different things, and I think with the mirror it kind of helped it all tie together. And it pops when you look at it, and it just makes you like my soul happy. And I think some of the women there, I know that they were really happy. Part of recovery for me is service, and giving back, and recovery, just being of service to the Powerhouse over the years has helped enhance my sobriety. So, and my recovery.
Hi, I'm Emmy Calland, and I'm a Power volunteer. I'm president of Power's board of directors, and all of us on the board are actually volunteers. We certainly play an important role at Power, but we're not the only ones. Volunteers do a wide variety of things for Power clients, providing them with games and recreation, leading them in creating art and in making crafts, sharing meals, and helping to celebrate holidays. They teach classes in self-defense, and cooking, and contemporary dance. Volunteers in recovery help clients study Alcoholics Anonymous' Big Book and share their own stories of recovery from addiction. Other volunteers take care of the house yard, do clerical work, and help cover the Power reception desk, as well as staffing fundraising events. When COVID hit, volunteers switched to working with the women virtually and dropped off gifts for clients and handled special projects such as delivering Easter baskets to the children of Powerhouse residents. Volunteers show Power clients that they're not alone. They help the women make connections to a community that will support them and help them rebuild happy, productive lives. Thank you, Power volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer at Power, please visit our website at power-recovery.com.
Hi, I'm Britt Wright, the Communications Manager here at Power. I want to thank you for being here tonight. So far, so good. We do have more to come. As a reminder, if at any point you are inspired to give, please go to our website. You can also bid on our auction, which is still open. Coming up, you are going to hear another alum story. You'll hear how we were able to take therapy virtual this year because of you. And our Seeds of Hope Awards are coming up. And you're also going to hear one of my favorite stories from a Power Connection mentor and her supervisor who used to be her mentor when she was a client here at Power. So stay tuned.
I'm Sally Wiggin, and I support Power. For the last several years, I have been blessed to be able to participate in Power Promises by introducing Power Graduate. These women in recovery have been so inspiring that it moved me to finally go public with my own recovery. Thank you, Power, for all you do.
Hi, my name is Nalee Henderson. My clean date is July 12, 2016. Started experimenting with powdered cocaine. And then from that, it led to crack cocaine. So things just started to spiral out of control after that. By that time, I was drinking, smoking weed, smoking crack. After a while, it just took over. It just controlled my life. My third grandson was born July 3rd. And my son Shane told me if I didn't get myself together, I wouldn't be able to see him. I just wanted to get myself together. And I went to Power and I was ready. Everyone there was very supportive. I worked closely with my therapist. I did all my groups. Whatever they had to offer, I wanted it. I wanted to do anything, everything to stay clean. It was just an amazing experience. I could just feel God working in my life. I could feel myself, working with the program and through the program. And like I said, the staff was amazing and everybody was so very supportive. I made some friends along the way, I started to build healthy relationships. My support group, there's one member. I don't know her last name, but I did want to let you know this. Her name is Jen, and she's amazing. She's a big part of my support. She used to take me to meetings.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Davidson, and I am a volunteer at Power. I met Nalee at the Sunday morning women's meeting at the Powerhouse several years ago. She was a resident there at the time. One of the wonderful things about that meeting was that you would see women when they first came in, and they were very compact emotionally. And as they learned, they just started to blossom. And I saw that in Nalee. I would take her, when she was still in the house, I would take her to meetings, to outside meetings. And, I'd pick her up at the Power, go back and forth to meetings. And I got to know her a little bit better on those rides.
Judy was my therapist, and she worked me to where things were coming out of me that I didn't even know were in me, things that I was holding on to. And I was able to have closure with my mom's death. So it was just something that I went through and I used through it. That's when I was drinking and smoking marijuana. That was at the age of 16. So Judy really helped me a lot, a great deal. I'm just thankful and grateful that I had a chance to get back to Power and get my life together. Today, I feel like a productive member of society.
So just about every time I'm in there, I see her and we say hi, and we can't hug right now, but we will. I have seen Nalee go through some absolutely crushing events in her life since she's gotten sober, and she has been able to stay sober through it. I can't even imagine how strong she has to be to get through that pain.
My middle child, his name is Shane. He passed away. He died. I know my son was able to see me clean. He has 2 sons, so altogether I have 4 grandsons. And I need to be here for them. And that's what I do today. My life is good. Some days are better than others. I still have my job. I got my job when I was at Power working with Darlene. I still work there. I've been there for 5 years. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my refrigerator, clothes on my body. I've been able to build healthy relationships with my family members and my sons, which is very important to me. My oldest son, he has told me several times before, the past is the past, leave the past behind. He tells me he's proud of me. My 60-year-old, he tells me he's proud of me. And they also remind me that my son Shane is proud of me too. I really appreciate you guys thinking about me. And I never thought that I would be where I'm at now, just sitting here in my living room talking to you, having dinner. I thought I was going to die out there. But God had another plan.
Well, I would like to say, Nalee, it's an honor to know you, and I celebrate your strength and your courage and your sobriety. And I want to tell you that our friendship is just another beautiful gift of being sober.
Hi, I'm Lori Fell, and I am a therapist in the outpatient program at Power New Day. As Nalee talked about, recovery doesn't come with no problems and no life stressors. Life still goes on, and at times throughout folks' lives, they need to come in for some support and talk about ways that they can continue to grow in their recovery and to continue to learn new skills to maintain their sobriety. And so that's a lot of what we do in outpatient. We talk about coming in for tune-ups and coming in if there's something that is starting to be an issue for someone, they can come in and talk about it. Well, I think this past year has been crazy for everybody in terms of dealing with the isolation that has happened because of the pandemic. We have been very fortunate and been able to help our clients by providing telehealth. And so our therapists were able to connect to our clients and provide therapy through video, virtual, Zoom, and as well as telephone support. We actually moved not only our individual therapy to virtual, but we also have been able to provide our intensive outpatient program virtually and doing groups online through Zoom. And we're really pleased about that and pleased that we've been able to help. Started March 1st, having clients come back to the office if they want to. We've also been able, thankfully, to keep that a hybrid approach so that if some people still don't feel comfortable coming in, that we can offer their services to them virtually, but folks who are ready to come in and come back to the office. The isolation of addiction is compounded by the isolation of the pandemic. And so it's really important that Power is able to provide those services in the traditional sense of face-to-face as well as virtually. We are reimbursed at a lower rate than if we were providing services face-to-face. So, your continued support and help during this time would be really helpful in providing lots of women with care that they need.
I am Sally Wiggin, a retired TV journalist and gratefully in recovery.
I'm Ramona, and this is what recovery looks like. 25 years.
My name is Lauren. This is what recovery looks like. I have 9 years clean.
My name is Kim. I have been in recovery for a little over 3 years now.
Hi, my name is Nalee Henderson. My clean date is July 12, 2016.
Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie Slangle. I'm the COO of Power. I'm often asked, what does it mean to provide trauma-informed care? What that means is that Power has an understanding that trauma is prevalent in the world. In fact, 93% of the women we served last year experienced some form of trauma. Power takes into account an understanding of trauma in all aspects of service delivery and places a priority on client safety and empowerment. There are so many benefits of using a trauma-informed approach to care. By looking through a trauma lens, we can understand clients' behaviors. They are engaged in their treatment. They develop trusting relationships with staff, and in the end, can improve long-term health benefits. Please consider donating to Power so that we may continue the great work that we're doing. Please see the link below, and thank you so much.
UPMC Health Plan is honored to support tonight's event because we know that Power's smart, holistic approach has helped so many women achieve and maintain recovery. Power offers women safe housing, outpatient healthcare services, and community-based resources that deliver trauma-informed, gender-responsive services to women who need them.
Hi, I'm Ramona Davis, Supervisor at Power Connection. I started at Power in 2007 as a mentor. Yvonne was one of my clients that was always willing to meet with me, always showed growth in everything she did. She persevered. She had some backslides sometimes, but she always put that foot forward and moved on vigorously. Yvonne completed our program successfully.
My name is Yvonne Miller. I am currently a mentor trainer. With Power Connections, Ramona is now my supervisor. I, as an individual, personally want to be involved in other women's lives to help make a difference, to let them know that no matter what mistakes we make, no matter what we do, that change is possible and things can turn around. We have to just persevere. And it always helps that no matter what, if you can have one person that supports you unconditionally without judgment. And for me, Ramona was that person. Everything that she has taught me, her influence, her impact on my life has made a tremendous difference in the person that I am today. In August, I will be celebrating 10 years clean. And all I can say is that I'm thankful for Ramona, I'm thankful for Power Connections, for giving me a chance and an opportunity to do something meaningful with my life, and to affect other women the way that I've been affected.
Hi, I'm Keith Gardner, CFO of Power. I mostly crunch the numbers while my colleagues do the life-saving work. Every day I'm grateful for the community support and the donations that come in to make the work at Power possible. Every dollar really counts. Please make a donation now at power-recovery.com. You are saving lives. Thank you.
Every year, Power picks someone to receive its Seeds of Hope award. The award is given to those who demonstrate an appreciation for and understanding of addiction as a disease and its effect on women, children, families, and communities. Someone who has shown a commitment to women-centered treatment and support, and who promotes the removal of the stigma associated with the disease of addiction. This year, the award is being presented by Power CEO Rosa Davis.
Hi, Brenda. It's so nice to see you. I'm so glad to see you, even though it's on a screen. For those of you who've been with Power a while, you know that Brenda has been with Power a while. For more than 20 years, she has been the MC of this event, and I'm really happy to not only know Brenda as a Power supporter, as someone who tells the Power stories of the women we serve with respect and dignity and compassion, but I'm also honored to call her my friend. You know, this award goes to individuals or groups who have made an impact, in particular on the recovering community. And Brenda epitomizes dignity and respect, and she's always had an interest in telling human interest stories and telling them in the most positive way. So Brenda, it's with tremendous honor and gratitude that on behalf of the board, all of the staff, volunteers, and certainly the women that we serve, that we extend our gratitude and recognize you as this year's Seeds of Hope awardee.
Oh my gosh. Rosa, thank you so much. And as you said, I've been the MC for probably 20 years. Now, Patrice King Brown, former anchor at KDKA, was supposed to MC your event. Something came up. She could not do it. And the station asked if I could do it. So I said, I did it. And I said, Patrice is never getting this back again. So I have been there ever since. And I love the women. I love their stories of survival and determination. And every time I MC, I always end with a quote. And one of my favorites, which is directly towards Power, is Eleanor Roosevelt, who says, women are like tea bags. You never know how strong they are until you put them in hot water. And these women, you, the organization, and the women who have survived alcohol and drug addiction are tea bags, and they have survived. And we know how strong they were. So I just want to thank you for this award. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Hi, Mark. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so proud and excited to be able to present you with Power's Seeds of Hope Award. Those of you who don't know, Mark has been the director of Allegheny County Department of Human Services for 25 years, just recently retiring. And under his leadership, he really transformed that system. The Department of Human Services operates with more than $1 billion budget and serves 1 out of every 5 Allegheny County residents from cradle to grave. For all that you've done for Allegheny County, for all that you've done for the state, and all of your work really across the country, because you've been a consultant, an advisor, and mentor to so many, including me. And I'm tremendously grateful. And on behalf of our board, staff, and volunteers, I'm so happy to be presenting you with the Seeds of Hope Award. Mark, congratulations and thank you so much.
Thanks, Rosa. I'm really honored and humbled to receive this award. Power is a very special agency to me. As the director of the Department of Human Services, we do serve over 200,000 people a year, and most of the folks we serve have multiple needs. And bringing things together holistically really makes an impact. And Power has been, one of our special agencies and really a leader in addictive services. I don't know of anybody who has not been affected either personally or through family and friends. And I know that recovery is possible, and treatment does work. And it's something I've been, very supportive of, and I see that happen, and your results are great. I want to thank you again for honoring me. It really is a very important award to me, and I'm very grateful to this award, and I really do appreciate that. So thanks.
To the women of power, I want to congratulate you, honor you for the remarkable work that you are doing. My name is Weldy Ann Scales, and I am a councilwoman for the borough of Swissvale. I find it a great honor and a privilege to come before you to say congratulations and to encourage you to continue to do the remarkable work that you are doing for women. I can personally remember my personal interaction with Power and the remarkable work that you're doing through my volunteerism for the Women's Clothing Drive with Union Baptist Church of Swissvale. And I was very impressed, and I found it to be a tremendous service that is being provided to women through Power. So this moment, this time, I want to say congratulations, and I want to encourage you personally to continue to do the work that you are doing. Congratulations, I honor you, and I hope that you enjoy this 30 years anniversary.
That's it. Another night of Power Promises and our 30th anniversary. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're really happy that you could. We're really happy for your support. Everything you do supports women in recovery. So remember, the auction is open, and from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for joining us tonight.